I know this is a little different what we usually do, but ReCore deserves some love. I find the story to be really good and the game mechanics in a way I've never played before. And this was the time when a new console and games were coming out, and a certain person who's part of the team to make ReCore a reality. Let me explain. Now here's the short version of why ReCore didn't get the love it deserved. Now you all know this game here. Now this is the first time I've played Mega Man and it was hard. Now there was one special person who was part of the team to help develop Mega Man. Keije Inafune would go on to help other video game projects too. He was well known in the game community and this is where he wanted to start his own Kickstarter for his game called Mighty No. 9.
Back, quickly! You must stop it before it destroys the entire laboratory!
Now, it's not a bad game and some of the graphics were pretty good and the gameplay. Unfortunately, he promised too much and he couldn't deliver on time and there were some other things, but this was just one of the small problems connected to ReCore. But Keije Inafune came up with the ReCore original concept and was given the go-ahead to make the video game. And it had to become an exclusive for the Xbox One and PC. And they had to deliver the game 2016. Meanwhile, Microsoft was presenting their new Xbox One at E3. And their presentation was so bad with so many rules that it hurt all the games that they were presenting. The problem started with the Xbox One wasn't powerful enough at the time. That means that it will take ReCore to load every section 1 or 2 minutes on the Xbox, but not on the PC. Unfortunately, the team was on a deadline and they had to deliver the game, so they had to cut a piece of the map and one of the robots that was essential to this area. Now there is a lot to explore on the other side of the maps, but even when the game was released, they were still working on the game, like better load times, finishing that robot, patching some bugs, and the last piece of the map. So we can actually go to that area. You know what? Let's look at the game itself and see why I think it's a great game and a great story. Let's go into it.
Scavenger core bites.
As I've already mentioned many times, this is a huge map to explore. Tunnels, undergrounds, factories, warehouses, huge open areas.
Ciao,
You can make your robot dog search the area. If you notice here, you can see there's a little bump on the sand, which indicate there's something there.
You got the scent, Mac?
Now the funny thing is, I went online to see what people were saying about the game, and someone actually complained about, why is there a dog in this game? That's stupid. That's like saying why there's a dog in Fallout.
Hey boy, what are you doing out here all by yourself?
It is a companion who helps you throughout the game. Now I use the dog to carry a lot of the stuff for me because I'm limited to how much I can carry for myself. Don't you worry, we'll get to Fallout one day. These here are special cores You're going to find these throughout the game, and you'll need to collect as many as you can. And you will also come across some huge opponents. Now you come across these things that look like gold nuggets. So just remember where you saw them last. Right now, your weapon can only fire these gray energy weapons. Eventually, you will find other weapons that are more powerful. You also have this special gravity hook that can pull out these cores from the robots. It requires precision and training to do this correct. It is best to collect as many cores as you can because you're going to need them all. Eventually, you will come across a crawler where you can go into it. This will be your base.
Let's get inside and see if this core will turn the power back on.
Here, it will empty everything you have found so far. All the parts and the cores, these are to help you enhance your robots and upgrades. And this is your workbench where you're going to be working on the robots. And this is a schematic you found, and you need to research it and use parts to do it with.
Aha!
You can upgrade your robots with more armor, more energy, and more attack. And as you can see here, we have found many parts and I need a silver. As you can see here, if we use 3 of these parts here, we could combine them into one silver piece. So there's bronze and silver and gold parts. It is important that you find as many cores as possible, because you need to upgrade your attack and defense and energy.
The pylon. It's totally grounded. I know, Mac. Let's get to the pylon before that storm hits.
And you're going to find a lot of loot in this game.
Don't mind if I do. Open sesame. Surprise, surprise. Huh. Looks like there's something stuck in the memory buffer. Yes, of course I'm a human.
You're going to find this cute little guy around the map. He will help you fast travel to the areas you want to go. Now there are many puzzles that has to be solved by finding special small robots and special cores.
Fingers crossed.
And here she finds a special part to upgrade her weapon to red.
Ooh! A red ammunition amplifier.
This will allow her to do more damage to the red robots. As you can see here on the map, we have explored a lot of parts of the map so far. And eventually, we will find other robots, like this one. Each robot can do different tasks.
Whoa! We made it. On your toes. Here we go.
Always check your map if there's any hidden treasure or special boxes. They can be very sneaky hidden.
A tram rail. This must be the place. Yeah, Seth. That's quite a view.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, you're going to die here a lot. It is important that you upgrade yourself and your robots as much as possible before you go into that room. I'm just saying. Now if you notice here, you can't pick it up because you've already filled up with lots of cores. So here you can go into your inventory and delete one of the cores you don't need. So you can get this special purple core. And here we find Duncan, another robot who's going to help us.
You wait. Take it out. Nice, Duncan. Look at this place. No wonder it's off limits. The shifting sands. Better keep an eye out for storms. Looking good, Seth. Now we can fly up to the exit door. Time to fly. Seth, time to fly. Woohoo!
Here we find the T8NK robot, or as we call it, the tank. This will help us travel faster on the ground throughout the open areas and caves. And now you can actually go to places you couldn't go before because of the quicksand.
Whoa, sure is dark out here.
Eventually, we would have found so much stuff that we have everything we need, and all the robots have been upgraded to be as much powerful as possible. Even Jules is a high level now.
What has he done to the E-Tower?
When you come here, it's going to be really hard and it's going to feel like chores because you have to do this many times. Now I don't want to spoil too much of the game for you, but now I want to show you something. I went out and I bought the art book of ReCore. And I wanted to see what the possibility of what more this game could have been. So let's you and I explore this region. And looking through this art book, you can tell they had grand ideas of what could have been, and if they had just 1 or 2 years more, it could have been a truly epic game. You can tell there was so much they wanted to put into the game. But they were restricted to a very limited time and they had to stay on the deadline. I mean, just look at this. This is a truly great art with great imagination. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is something they never had a chance to put into the game, and this could be used for the sequel. That's right, a sequel. I would love to see her use the crawler to cross a vast distance of the desert area. So she can go to other locations outside of this map which we have now. And some new vehicles like this one that's really fast that Jules is piloting. This could be one of the interesting things to see in the game. And seeing all these strange things on the ground, you can tell something special is going on here. Now, this could be part of the technology to transfer Eden into a green habitable planet. And maybe she has to sacrifice one of the robots and a core. And maybe she has to stop these huge robots who are guarding different areas of the map. And maybe they are attempting to reach the core of the planet. See what I did there? It could be that she needs to build her own huge robot and the parts are scattered throughout the area. And to operate this huge robot, it probably requires 2, maybe 3 cores. This will be where she has to fight all these huge robots. Mega Robot War. Just an idea. Now I know this is not for everyone, and it's not like a Fallout game or a Elden Ring game. But ReCore only costs $4 on Steam. Now that's a bargain. And now we've come to the end of this episode. Now I left 2 links of the video game trailer just to help you to get into the mood of maybe you want to play this game. I would also personally like to say to all the people who worked on ReCore with the music, graphics, design, storytelling, just anything, thank you. But before we leave, as you notice, I got a hold of this special edition here with the statue and other stuff and this special little thing over here. Now, if you want to know how this thing works, you can go to our Twitter or Facebook account and see what it does. So thanks for watching and see you on the next episode.